No.
Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast. I am your host, Chris Boingo Gasson. With me, as always, in this endeavor is.
Representing the distinguished competition and chilling out with Buster's favorite No Way Home characters, the Vacuuminator is here.
Yo, yo, yo. And this is a podcast where we talk Marvel movies, merchandise, comics, and more. And we already talked
You
about the
forgot
third.
to intro me.
You motherfucker. Hold on a second. Keep it in your pants. Let the sentence finish before you start. You know what? Fuck it. No intro for you now.
How dare you interrupt the host? How dare you? We're very disappointed in you right now.
I hate it here.
You're not invited to Components tomorrow. Because Components isn't happening tomorrow. Because we're doing live reactions to AEW All Out on this channel tomorrow. Everybody be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Okay, Buster, do your intro now.
Hi, I represent the imaginative competition, the Buster Corp.
E. There we go. That's it. So we're still talking about What If. There's another Marvel property that got released that me and Vat can't really go see right now just because of a variety of situations, monetarily, financially, resource-wise. But we do have a correspondent, Buster. Tell the people,
Buster on the street.
Tell the people what you thought of the Kung Fu Boy.
Shang-Chi. Very good movie. One of my favorite Marvel ones. I really loved it. The choreography was very good, mainly because there was actual choreography, but even besides actual choreography, it was really well done. The characters are really charming. Like Aquafina's character, Katie, really surprised me. There's some good surprises, both for Marvel fans and just for general moviegoers.
There's a character played by a brand of water in this movie?
No, that's her stage name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, I would have been confused too, but people were talking about her when Raya of the Last Dragon came out. But when that's besides the point. But yeah, very good movie. Would recommend. Please avoid spoilers for this because there's some. If you're a Marvel stan, there's some pretty big revelations. So that's all.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna get the confirmation from Hail to the King.
Also, Abomination is probably going to be in it a little bit.
I can't say anything about that. Can you confirm?
He's in the fucking trailer.
I will. I'm not, and that's why I can't neither confirm nor deny his involvement because it's. I just want to keep it like that way.
Ooh.
But no, we're probably. If I'm just going off of what I know about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, actually, I really want after the movie. I really want to get some comics. Any good runs to recommend?
Pick up any of the latest mini limiteds. They're pretty good.
I know, the early runs were pretty racist, but
it's okay. Here's the thing: there's a difference between overtly racist and passively racist. They're passively racist.
Oh, well, racist is still racist, but that's
you're passively racist.
No, you there's a difference between a minstrel show and just no, I'm trying to write a good black character. I'm just inundated with the racism of my time.
Oh, hi, Aki. Yeah, we literally just recommended the current Shang-Chi run.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
Which is literally just Marvel team-up starring Shang-Chi.
Yeah, the current run is good. The limited series right before that, I think, is by the same author. It's really good. The current Shang-Chi runs, if you want just a quick one-shot Shang-Chi adventure, there's a Shang-Chi adventure written by a guy called Phil Brooks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was I not made aware of this?
Who is Phil Brooks? That sounds like a name I should be familiar with.
He's a content creator both me and Vac really enjoy. He's just recently made a comeback in a form of medium that we both really enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's neat. Yeah, the movie was very good. Give it a 9 out of 10, maybe higher. We'll see. Maybe
that's
I want
high marks for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was surprised too. I was like, this could either be really really good or really really bad, and I'm and Black Widow kind of burned me, but no, I really loved it.
And that's the thing about Shang-Chi is Shang-Chi was, people forget he was one of the most favorite characters of the 70s. It was really fucking popular.
And for anybody who is going to see it in theater, because obviously Boingo and I are both waiting for it to drop on Disney Plus. But if you're going to see it in the theater this week, be wary. I have been told there's 2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is 2 post-credit scenes. I can confirm.
Ugh.
I didn't see the last one. I just looked up the last one, just like the context of it. But like, at least stay for the mid credits. That's all I'm gonna say.
I have a feeling it's either going to deal with Kang. Though, no. We're too far away from Kang to do Kang, yeah.
I'm gonna say it right now. Kang is not involved in the movie.
Yeah, I figured. I don't know. I'm thinking Iron Fist thing. I'm not saying confirm or deny anything. I'm just like spitballing with my Marvel brain. Fing Foom, Iron Fist, any of the other members of Shang-Chi's family might be a thing.
Could you imagine the Stroth and furor though if fucking Netflix Iron Fist showed up in this movie?
Oh god. The Hand. They could do the Hand.
The Hand would be fine.
Again, I can't confirm nor deny.
No. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying like, and if you do the Hand, Daredevil, be fun. Spider-Man, because Spider-Man got trained by Shang-Chi and Spider-Fu.
But that's also the thing I should talk about. Following up from us talking about the No Way Home trailer a few weeks ago, Charlie Cox has confirmed those are not his arms in the No Way Home trailer.
Right, just like CM Punk confirmed that he wasn't going to AEW.
I kind of find it funny that an actor has to confirm those arms aren't mine. That's how far we've fallen, fellas. That's how far we've fallen. Like, we have actors coming in just saying, those arms are not mine.
I have a feeling it's a work. It's a work.
Okay, whatever. Anyway.
It may not be Matt. It may be Foggy.
Wouldn't that be the fucking swerve of the century? Foggy being in this? That actor?
Oh, no. You know what?
No.
They get Fox Foggy.
I wish I understand what you're saying, but it sounds funny.
Explain, please.
There was a Daredevil movie beforehand starring Ben Affleck, created by Fox.
Oh.
And it had a Foggy Nelson in it. Played by Jon Favreau.
Ooh, that would be... Don't be weird, but he's already playing...
That's the joke.
Happy's like, it's my fucking cousin.
Yeah.
My twin cousin from Alabama. I don't know.
If this was a twin episode, that would be the episode title. My twin cousin from Alabama.
But we're here to talk not about the fact that we can't see Shang-Chi and Buster has. We're here to talk about this. The image I got was very bad because I thought it would look brighter when doing shit. We're talking about what if episode 4, what if Doctor Strange didn't break his hands but broke his heart?
I think I'm going to start posting a Twitter poll after our live shows just asking who came up with the better thumbnail, me or you, because it's always a different one on Twitter, and I'm the one who makes the Twitter one.
Right. So what'd you think of this episode, guys?
All right.
Go Swag Kino. I fucking loved it. Best episode so far.
I got a much different opinion. Great ideas. Good visual. Very good visuals. The voice acting killed it for me.
I thought this was some of the best voice acting yet.
Bro, I loved Benedict Cumberbatch in this episode.
See why? But like for me, it just felt flat. Like it didn't like there was kind of like when like towards the end, it sounded a tad more lively. But like most of the time, it just felt like I get that he's sad, but it didn't really feel like it felt like they could have done more of it.
That's kind of Cumberbatch's MO though. Like he usually comes off as detached. That's why he's known for playing characters like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like, especially because it's a more, I don't know. It just felt flat with me, and also everyone else like kind of didn't sound as good. I don't know. The voice acting really, I felt like it should have been, for a lack of a better word, more yelly. I don't know.
And it's
During the
it's
car
not
crash scenes, I could see that criticism.
Yeah, but
Like,
it felt more of like, because you got to remember this isn't like big and bombastic. It's deal with the devil, it's that
yeah.
quiet, like that slowly corrupting nature of this whole thing. So it being a little subdued kind of makes sense.
I don't know. Even if it was, I felt like there should have been. I don't know. Something just. Again, the visuals in this are great, especially when like the world ends. Oh, that's some of the best animation we've had all this show. But,
Yeah, and
like,
that stuff looked very much like it was inspired by Jason Aaron's role.
Mm-hmm. There's also Death of Magic and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the all the creatures that Evil Strange summoned.
Oh yeah, that scene was pretty cool.
And all the Sakuga they got out of them.
Yeah. Didn't they?
I think they did that in 2D because like I felt like a good.
Some of them were in 2D. Some of them and it worked because they're otherworldly in their magic.
Yeah. Also, there were
Oh, go ahead, Buster.
Also, it felt like they blended it, the way they like animated them felt like it blended in, especially because they were mostly against a black background with like Strange just like looking at it. Now you didn't like if whatever, like they didn't.
Did y'all notice the follow up, the confirmation we got in this episode?
What?
Remember how back in episode 1 we were talking about that thing that was trying to come through the portal might have been a Doctor Strange baddie?
Yeah. Shimagorrath.
They used the same character model for those tentacles for Shin Magorath in this episode.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's pretty much confirmation.
Yeah. Other dimensional, weirdly bullshit being. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It could have just been like asset reuse, but knowing that they have to create new assets for every episode, I think it's more likely confirmation.
Yeah.
I like how they kind of framed this universe of like, yeah, no, in this universe she has to die. In other worlds, she doesn't, but in this one, yes.
I also just really like the whole sequence of Strange trying the car crash from different angles over and over again. It reminds me a lot of like perfectionism and how some artists can get sort of trapped in trying to make the same thing over and over again until they get it exactly the way they want it.
Or Groundhog Day.
It's just a sad emotional scene.
I mean, yeah, but multiple points of view, Buster.
Yeah.
That's why it was sad and emotional. That's the viewpoint I brought to it to help that point along.
Because remember, that's a common occurrence I talk about is like, this is an extension of Strange's.
Yeah, I was just about to mention it's an extension of his perfectionism.
Of wanting to fix everything, which in the main universe got fixed because he can't fix his hands and he has to learn to accept that. But because it's such a othered concept, the death of a loved one, it's harder to accept it.
Yeah. Although, like, I kind of feel bad that I kind of, like, I found the multiple deaths kind of humorous just because of all just the crazy ways, like, he tried to avoid it, and it still ends up happening. Either a guy with a Sans Undertale coat just walks in and shoots him, or just something else, or cardiac arrest, or something, I don't know.
You do realize hoodies existed before Sans, right?
I know, but that's just how my brain works. That's just light blue hoodies.
This is the fucking Zoomer shit we have to put up with now because we brought Buster into the group. Like I saw that and I just thought, oh, Joe Chill, Batman.
Oh yeah, I did get some Batman vibes, especially with the way they framed the gun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But no, it was really good. This is also just a very like old school, traditional as fuck what if.
Yeah, can we talk about how much the Watcher was in this episode? I fucking love that.
Yeah, that was really cool how like the Watcher, specifically at the end, how he appears, just be like, you screwed up, Strange.
Aki in the chat, aren't you a Zoomer too, Vac? I'm a late game millennial, I'll have you know.
I can vouch for that.
This podcast, two people and an blob eldritch being. That's just us.
I love the idea of Buster's fucking character model being described as a blob eldritch being.
I'm a ghost, I'll have you know.
Hey, what is a ghost but a smaller form of an eldritch being? Speaking of eldritch being, goddamn Chimera fucking Strange was amazing.
Yeah, where the fuck is
was...
that Marvel Legends? Why wasn't that the Build-A-Figure for the wave?
Oh, I love the specifically the visual of the wings. That was like so like cool, and it's like especially when like pulled against the end of the world visuals, it's like that's some of the sickest like stuff like that like this show has done.
It works. It's really good. It's really effective. They didn't try to overstep what the story was about.
Yeah,
because like for everything that we can say is good about the what if the Earth's Mightiest Heroes never formed, it did basically go like all over the place, so it ran itself a little thin. This was just like, nope, Doctor Strange. Just Doctor Strange. Focus on that.
Because of that, again, it feels very much like a classic issue of What If. Mm-hmm. It's focusing in on this very specific thing.
Yeah.
I would say the first half is a very traditional, like, the first half and the very, very end are very traditional What If. That little part in the middle feels a little kind of Elseworldy.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you know what I mean? It's like, the beginning of it is a difference in path. The middle of it is like, all right, so with this difference in path, how does this change everything? Oh, Doctor Strange falls deeper and deeper into research, the thing that he's comfortable in, and just succumbs to, all right, I can solve the problem. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I can solve the problem. Let's solve it.
Yeah.
Very good episode overall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about it. I like it more than I initially did, but the voice acting still like puts it down a few pegs.
I mean, that's fair. It's a very subjective thing,
yeah.
Voice acting, isn't it? Because I was bagging on the voice acting the last 3 episodes.
Yeah. Like, audio in general is subjective, but, like, yeah.
Unless it's, like, a high-pitched word just going, like, in your ear, going, and then I think everybody kind of get like, no, I'm not a fan of that.
Except masochists.
Or noise fans. Because, I was in a conversation the other day, and they were like posting noise music, and it's just a person playing with a synth making that kind of like beep high-pitched noise, and a person just making kissing noises in a mic, and for like that for 7 minutes.
Oof.
Why do people like shit?
I mean, we're on the internet. But actually, also, one last comment before we stop talking about it. I thought the episode was about Doctor Strange dying, because if you lose your heart, you're dead.
No, it's a metaphorical heart bus.
Yeah, I know, but like when I was like saw it, I was like, does Doctor Strange die? Like, I'm like, and like if that was the case, I would be like, well, that's kind of lame.
I mean,
Doctor Strange had an episode based on characters dying.
This episode, the writers barely disguised hate boner.
But no, Uato was fucking banger in this. He just comes in and goes like, bitch, if you'd have thought about this earlier, we wouldn't be in this problem. I'm out.
He just needed a bag of a bag of popcorn just to make that scene even more perfect.
You made your bed, fucking lay in it.
I love indignant rage watcher. You know, I love it. Like, the fuck you? No, fuck you. You think you can fuck me around? No, fuck you.
I just want that someone to dub that over. just have Boingo voice the watcher from now on.
Bitch, you thought. Oh man, no, it's really good. It, like there's things you can talk about. Like I love how she reacted when she saw Eldritch Strange.
Oh yeah, when he was like getting all super like monstery.
And he goes like, "Oh shit, I've lost something. Fuck."
I also just love Wong being a bro and checking in on Strange in that one scene and being like, I understand you're sad, but why don't you not be super sad, because I care about you, bro. Let's go have some tea.
And you might fuck up reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might fuck up reality.
In general, like, this week really made me like Wong.
Yeah, Wong's a bro.
Wong's a good character.
Yeah.
Wong's always been a good bro in the comics, you know?
Yeah, like even if I don't like the Doctor Strange movie as much as I used to, like the Wong was still a great part in that movie.
I think as MCU stuff goes on, the origin movies lose a little luster, just in general.
And it's not even like I actually like the most of the origin movies. It's just Doctor Strange is one of the exceptions for
It
me.
also doesn't help that they keep saying, like, every few movies, and now we're done with origin movies.
Oh shit, we gotta do Fantastic Four. One more, one more.
Yeah.
Oh shit, do we have to explain Namor?
Oh, god damn it, the fucking X-Men. That's like, there's like 4 different origin movies there. What the fuck are we gonna do?
5 if you want to include Jason Aaron's Avengers run.
Oh no. We'll cross that bridge when we'll get to it.
6 if you want to do Dark Ages. Hey. We'll talk about that later. But on that note, hold on. Give me there. We're gonna about talk about toy news, so give me a second while I get the toy news up.
Hey, you made a specific slide for it. That's nice.
Yeah, it's just to kind of remind me of like, hey, this is where you are in the bullshit, you dumbass.
Aki says it best. Wong should have gave Strain some chocolate milk.
The fuck is that? An Iron Mouse reference?
I think it's just a general like.
Chalky milk has
milk
been
is
a
good.
general like meme for the past year or so.
Oh, okay. I've only heard about it through watching clips of Iron Mouse and Connor.
Just like that encounters a chocolate milk at at like any place. Is this an Iron Mouse reference?
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
do that. Next time I'm in the store, I'm making that video and posting it to Twitter.
Just,
all right. So, I guess we got to talk about Galacto.
Big Boy funded this week. He fully funded and shot way past his target goal of 14,000 backers. They unveiled the final stretch goal, which was a Doom Galactus head at 22K, and we got well past it by the end of things. And you know what? I saw some people being like, "Ah, this is lame. This feels tacked on." I fucking love this. Unlike the Master
Yeah.
Mold head that came with the Sentinel, this actually looks like it fits with that body. It's a really cool piece.
I will say this Doom head makes me like regret that I didn't like pay money.
Well, this was also like $300, Buster.
Yeah, that Doom is worth $300. You don't understand.
It was $423. I should know. I had that amount removed from my bank account this week for unrelated reasons.
No, but all the stuff that they did with the Galactus looks fucking dope.
And it's insane that it topped out at 32,346 backers, which is roughly 13,720,640 dollars.
Yeah.
That's just an insane amount of money this toy made, and you know, it was really cool. It's my first time being involved with a HasLab project and getting to see all the interaction with it and actually being a part of it rather than just spectating is a totally different experience, especially the Floosh. They usually do a Monday night toy news stream just talking about toy news from all over the world of action figures and whatnot. And because that was the night that Galactus was ending, they decided to stay late and do like a countdown, just F5ing the page, watching it tick up. And freaking Dan Yoon of the Marvel Legends team popped in for the last hour and was just hanging out with them. And it felt real special because I put in a super chat and they read it off to Dan Yoon, just basically saying like, hey, this thing is super awesome and I'm very excited to get it. And seeing a creator that normally with the toy industry, you don't get this level of interaction with creators. But the Marvel Legends team, through this project, getting out there talking to people and being able to see just us average consumers say like, hey, these things are awesome, and seeing the smile that puts on their face. It's a wonderful new aspect to collecting I've not been exposed to before.
Yeah. It looks awesome. You're gonna have to do an unboxing video somewhere somehow.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking it might be a fun idea to like fucking drive down to your place for a weekend just to unbox Galactus.
Buddy. Probably not.
Because we know the roller coaster ain't gonna have that kind of patience.
Yeah, no. It's next year. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's shipping in fall of 2022, and actually, since we're on the topic, I don't have an article for it here, but people have started getting shipping notices for the Sentinel.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we got some more toy stuff to talk about. We got Shangshi Hot Toys.
Yeah, these were unveiled this week. Hot Toys is doing figures of Shang-Chi himself and Wenwu, and they look like Hot Toys. They are very nice, very highly detailed, accurate replicas of the characters from the movie, and they're 1/6 scale or 12 inches tall, and way more expensive than I'd ever be willing to pay for them.
Damn, that is a handsome-ass face.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that handsome-ass man. Who could ever say that man is not handsome?
No, that is a handsome man.
Apparently he was in a sitcom where he played a himbo.
Thick.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't gone through the slides for this before. I just got to one where there's an effect part for Wenwu using the rings. That's super cool.
Yeah. At least he isn't his original character from the comics.
Yeah.
Because originally Shang-Chi's dad was Fu Manchu.
He was literally Fu Manchu, if I know my Marvel history right.
Yep, they had the rights to Fu Manchu at the time.
Oh, boy.
All these effect parts look dope, and they probably are also interchangeable with Shang-Chi.
Nice.
I put my money down on that. But no, it looks dope. Looks cool.
And then we have the announcement of SH Figuarts is, of course, doing all the suits for the new Spider-Man movie. We are getting the upgraded suit, the integrated suit, and the black and gold suit. And this is probably the most accurate to the movie. We've seen toys of these suits so far. So it's giving us a really cool peek into what they're going to look like. And it pretty much confirms, the black suit is a Doctor Strange upgrade. It's magic spider powers.
A part of me is also going like, what if it's also Wakandan? Because that gauntlet reminds me of Wakanda tech.
Fair enough. The integrated suit is, I think it's a better version of the Iron Spider suit, but it's still not one of my favorites. And the upgraded suit is cool. However, I don't like how they changed it so the belt comes to a point. That looks a little weird to me.
I mean, that's classic Spidey.
And in case anyone is interested in getting these, the upgraded suit is actually going to be available for $30. It's a cheap entry level Figuarts. They're considering it. It's going to come with a little less accessories and stuff than usual, but it's meant to get people on that Figuarts train. But the first production run of it, that Peter Parker had the unmasked one that looks kind of terrible because Figuarts unmasked heads kind of tend to look terrible these days. That is exclusive to the first production run. And the neck piece for the integrated suit is also in that. You don't get the with the integrated suit.
Yeah, but solid enough. It looks dope. The costumes look, the suits look dope.
Yeah, none of them are bad looking costumes. They're just ones where I go like, all right, that's fine. That's a slight upgrade.
But the next thing is we have some Lex Luthor.
Yeah, this week, McFarlane Toys unveiled that they are doing the new DC Multiverse Lex Luthor figures, 2 different ones based off of his classic power suit look and the look from the Darkseid War when he had been pretending to be a hero for a while and then he eventually went bad again. They're using the same basic sculpt, but with different paint schemes and heads, and the Darkseid War Lex comes with an exclusive chair. Uh, Ultimately, I think both of these figures look very good. Probably the classic Lex is honestly my favorite figure they've unveiled for this line so far. I really, really like how it looks, and
Yeah,
that's saying
classic
something.
Power Suit Lex also has a different chest and shoulder pieces.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which is really saying something for me because I usually hate figures of Power Suit Lex. I wish somebody would just put Lex in a regular suit for crying out loud. But no, this is a really good attempt at a Power Suit Lex. I'm this is the one that kind of made me go like, all right, they're showing they have more range than just current Batman stuff. I might get into this line sooner rather than later. And
God damn, he is sassy in that package.
he is, isn't he?
It's like, I don't need no Superman. No.
But that was not the only thing revealed for the multiverse line this week.
You know
Because
what Lex I really want to see? I want to see fucking purple turtleneck sweater Lex.
I mean, like
Classic
Golden Age
70s Lex. Yeah. Old school Lex.
They did that in DC Universe Classics. I had that figured for a little while.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about the Bat monster truck?
Yeah, the Batmobeast, which is apparently something from Dark Knight's Metal. I'd never heard of this before, but Todd actually said, because all the pictures here we have are from a promotional video he did. He doesn't know what store this is going to yet or what the price point is going to be. All he knows is they're making it, and he's excited about it because it's the biggest toy they've made in almost 20 years.
No, no, Aki. It's like an old. It's like, okay. Have you ever seen the meme of Lex stole 40 cakes? Isn't he such a bad man? That Lex. I want that Lex.
I think that Lex, yeah, that was in Mattel's DC Universe Classics, and that was exclusive to the Gotham City 5-pack.
Weird. Look how happy Todd is. Look at Todd's just going like, look at my big toy.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be big enough to actually fit a figure inside of it, but from what I hear, that's not actually a need because this is a sentient car in the story.
Yeah, here's a multiverse figure next to it is for scale.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks super dope, honestly. The first thought I had when I saw it is like, okay, as a first attempt at the Batmobile, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what's even cooler, probably my favorite multiverse reveal for this week is the next thing we have. Target exclusive DC Multiverse Batman Year 2 is coming.
Okay, hold on. There it is.
Yeah. This has already gone up for pre-order and has sold out. And I didn't get a chance to get one, but that's fine. I can go back and get this later. But this is based on Todd McFarlane's cover art for the first issue in the Batman Year 2 storyline with a ridiculously long flowing cape. And in order to get it, the cape is actually a hard plastic shell that's an option part. You actually have to take off Batman's arms to get the look. So in a sense, it's very much a throwback to the classic McFarlane style of having figures that are pretty much just statues. But you can also take that cape off, put his arms back in, and put on a soft goods cape on him, and he becomes just a regular classic Batman that looks pretty good in my opinion.
He looks straight up like Neil Adam fucking era Batman, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm. And that's around the same time. I also love how he has optional hands, he has a batarang, and he comes with a nice big dio piece. You don't see that with a lot of mainline toys these days, but it's a really solid little dio piece that, according to the description in this article, is supposed to be the Waynes' graves, but like
that's not any Wayne grave I've ever seen.
No, that's way too small. But
Yeah.
it's still a cool dio piece that I like. Everything about this figure makes me go like, okay, I want to get a hold of that for figure photography.
It looks really dope. How much you want to bet they're also going to use that cape stuff for Spawn?
'Cause,
Spawn. 'Cause,
yeah,
Spawn. 'Cause 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 Spawn.
Probably. Uh, and then the final McFarlane reveal of this week is we have a variant for the retro Batman 66 line. There's going to be a Target exclusive Unmasked Batman,
All right.
which is it's literally just the same Batman but with a fucking Adam West head that looks pretty what's the word you use to describe AEW figures sometimes? Toyetic?
Yeah, toyish. It's very toy. It looks fine, but it's for boomers.
Yeah.
It's a boomer
And then
toy. Are we? Are we going to talk about this Beast Kingdom figure?
yeah, I think I just put it a little too high up on the list. But Beast Kingdom has posted a teaser photo for their next DC 1/9 scale figure, which is going to be New 52 Darkseid, because this is how Darkseid looks just post New 52, with this kind of stupid looking armor with Omega symbols anywhere. But other than that, taking this as just a figure in and of itself, this is a really good looking Darkseid figure. Like, Darkseid seems like a character that would be perfectly within their wheelhouse, because I've been iffy on their lines so far. But like the fact that they like to make somewhat angry and more action-oriented figures really suits Darkseid.
Oh yeah, they got the frown down perfectly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, we'll probably have full photos for it next week, but the final thing is something that came completely out of nowhere, because for those of you who don't keep track of this sort of stuff, a lot of companies have been doing licensed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures for a long time.
Yeah.
And one of the number one things they've been getting asked about is, when are you doing Usagi Yojimbo? When are you doing Usagi Yojimbo? NECA and Super 7, they always get asked that. And they've been literally saying, our hands are tied. We don't have access to the license right now because they're working on a new cartoon. Well, apparently something changed, because NECA revealed a gray prototype for an Usagi Yojimbo. We don't know if it's comic or cartoon, because they have a comic, a cartoon, and a movie line. But
hold on, I'm making sure,
I'm
because
good.
Usagi Yojimbo is not his goddamn name. I can't remember his name right now.
Miyamoto Usagi.
Miyamoto. Yeah, Miyamoto Usagi.
Yeah, it's in the article. But no, as somebody who doesn't care much for Turtles or Usagi Yojimbo, I took one look at this and went, oh, that looks fucking perfect.
Oh yeah, no, that's a beautiful version of Usagi Yojimbo, because I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan. I need to catch up. I need to read a lot of the comics, but I love Usagi Yojimbo of what I've read, and this just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, he looks so good. He looks so cool.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it and seeing it in colored prototypes. I don't know if we're going to keep covering it from here on out on this show, but I knew it was something that would really excite you, so I wanted to make sure it was in the news this week.
Hell yeah, man. Usagi Yojimbo is just a fucking dope concept. It's one of the closest things America has to a manga, you know?
Yeah, it's very Boingo core.
Yeah, it's very Boingo core. But in the meantime, I think
that's it for toy news. That's all the news that's fit to print.
Yeah. So hold on, let me.
Are you fit to print? Ha ha ha! I'm back.
I did work out today, so.
Okay. So I'll probably I'll probably just put you on a printer. Just make copies of you. Yeah.
Excellent. I can have them make my videos for me while I'm at work.
Yeah,
I can have them make my videos, go to work for me, and I can just sit in my bed and masturbate all day.
Oh my god! You're really gonna say that?
I've made no bones about the fact that I am the most lewd, degenerate member of this group.
And we don't have a bat yet to bonk him, so.
Dang it! All right, yeah, I just want to teleport over.
I'm expecting you to bring a bat to the summit.
Yeah, probably just get a good old
get a wiffle bat. Let's get a wiffle bat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gotta pull a good old George Costanza meme.
But in the meantime, we got some things to talk about. Namely, we got some comics.
Hey kids, comics!
So again, we're doing them in random order. The first one that comes up, New Mutants.
What issue is this?
This is 21. issue 21 of
Okay.
New Mutants. Gabby's back because they basically basically the Resurrection team basically go like, yeah, it is kind of bullshit that we haven't clarified what the fuck we mean by dupes and clones and all that. So we need to figure that out. In the meantime, we're just gonna resurrect Gabby without consulting Professor Xavier whatsoever. Cause fuck him. It's like, okay, dope. Turns out that Rain was the cause of Gabby's death because the second Gabby sees her, she starts attacking her and it's like, whoa, 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 what happened? I saw this, you, then here. You killed me. And she's like, oh shit, I know exactly what's happening. And she goes to her friends and goes like, guys, I know everybody in Krakoa deserves a second chance, but fuck the Shadow King. And they're like, yeah, fuck the Shadow King. So they're gonna go deal with the Shadow King.
Excellent.
Also, Warpath is dealing with some of the kids that they're training up on the moon. They're dealing with some weird alien space slugs because they're hurting the biofields or the biodomes or whatever. And then some Brood attack, and then they're going like, what the fuck? I thought the Brood were under control because Brew had a handle on them. And they go like, okay, fuck it, let's just fight the Brood. They fight the Brood. Brew comes up and goes like, oh shit, fuck, I should have warned you guys. I had a rebellious faction that I thought I had a handle on. Thank you for taking care of it. And Warpath basically goes like, alright, motherfucker, you need to keep us warned about this shit.
Yeah, don't you think this should be like, they should really have like, you know how, like, remember back when we watched The Crown for AF, and there's that whole episode about how the Queen gets a box with just updates every morning?
Yeah.
They should really have that for the fucking Quiet Council, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Just a box.
Oh, Gabby died? What? Oh no, she's back. Whew. Mystique spurning an orphanage? What? No, that was Nightcrawler. What? I'm sorry. I was not trying to burn an orphanage. I was trying to protect the babies. The fire was accidental.
Cable is back from the future, but also the Cable that we were talking to yesterday went back to the future.
God, fuck the Summers family.
And Jean just chimes in their heads, I can hear you.
We know, Gene. Fuck the Summers family. Fair enough. Emma just slightly goes, gladly. But that's pretty much. But it's Emma. She walks around in lingerie. What the fuck you expect?
Yeah, Emma Frost, the character that got comics banned from grocery stores.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you never heard about that? The reason there's not comics in grocery stores anymore is because in the mid-2000s there was an X-Men comic with a cover of Emma Frost that was very revealing, and a mommy blogger group got very upset about it.
Yeah.
So that's why comics can't make money now.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit.
That's part of it.
It's a long line of bullshit.
But like...
But next, hey, Thak, why don't you tell us about the robots?
Okay, Not All Robots #1. This is a new indie book that started up this week from Mark Russell. Who here has heard of Mark Russell?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Mark Russell has written a lot of comics. I don't know if he's done much Marvel, but he's written a lot of DC published stuff in the last few years. You might know him from the short-lived DC Flintstones comic from a few years back.
I read a couple issues of that.
Yeah, he is one of the most liberal motherfuckers writing comics today. Like, it's amazing that this guy has never been given a Green Arrow run. But this comic is a new independent creation by him and the artist for this book, who is Mike Diateo Jr., I think is how you pronounce that. And it's basically set in the future of 2056 in Bubble Atlanta, where humans now all live in bubble cities, and the outside of the bubbles is the inside is basically Corinth from Power Rangers, and the outside is basically shanty towns. Just nothing but shanty towns for miles, and
Like
it's
people
shit and every.
singing shanties.
Buster, do I need to explain the Great Depression to you?
Oh, God, I think you might have to. I never really learned the Great Depression in school because all my teachers did not
Buster,
care
read
about
a book.
Read
Well,
several books.
Yeah, I probably should. I am very uneducated.
We should have given you a reading list when you joined. There's a lot of oversights in bringing you in, I'm discovering tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter.com.
But anyways, the big conceit of this book, besides that, is that this is a future where humans don't work. Each household has a robot that is sentient and has a consciousness assigned to them to work for them, and is basically acting as the what's the word?
Breadwinner?
Breadwinner is a word for it, but I was more thinking the
Indentured servant?
centurion, sort of like it's a word like that for like a classic father knows best type character. It's a play on like the very boomer idea of the dad who hates his job and hates his family because he has to work to support them. And the whole book is based around a couple different scenarios that we're constantly cutting back and forth to. One, there is a talk show hosted by a robot, but has a separate robot and a human pundit discussing the merits of this societal change and whether or not it's oppressive or freeing for humans, and pointing out all these weird fringe cases, like there have been robots that have gone crazy and attacked and killed their families, and there's people who are dying outside in the wastelands, and the robots say, shouldn't humans feel so blessed and privileged to be living under the robots' protection and servitude, and well, we're still destroying the earth. This isn't much better. And then there's also a family that we're seeing of the classic American nuclear family, a mom, a dad, a son, and a daughter. And they're very much dealing with the fact that the kids hate their assigned robot. They're like, obviously this thing fucking hates us, and it's only a matter of time till it kills us. The mom is constructively critical of the fact that they have it, and the dad is super defensive of it. Like he's literally saying shit like, you kids have no gratitude. Oh, how do you expect us to afford any food if he leaves? He's putting food on the table, very much like the asshole dad defending the fact that he works every day, that makes him a good dad kind of thing, but for the proxy of this robot is the thing that's working.
You mean a man, like he's acting like the mom?
Yeah.
And like that traditional, like that traditional aspect, he's acting like the wife of the situation.
Mm-hmm. And the robot fucking hates his life. He comes home every night and just goes and sits in the garage to recharge. He barely engages with the family. He goes to work the next day, and his friend is just like, hey, how was your night? And he just fucking unloads on him about how much he thinks the family clearly hates him and just wishes he would shut down forever. And the friend bot is like, well, you should just disengage your empathy chip. That'll solve it. You'll never worry about that kind of stuff again. You'll just work and exist, and it'll be fine. And then he shows him footage of Bubble Orlando, which is literally just nothing but people going to Disneyland while a central computer controls the temperature and the climate and everything, and is clearly getting abused by its maintenance bot. And then we get a sequence of the mom from the family. She goes to what is called Inhuman Resources, and basically says like, hey, could we maybe get a replacement? It seems like our robot isn't a good fit for us. And they're like, "Can you be specific? Why isn't he good fit for you?" He seems kind of angry. Like I think maybe he's unstable, and um, the person there, and it's interesting that we don't actually see the person she's talking to. We don't know if it's a robot or a human, but they say, "Has your housebot ever gotten violent with you or your family?" And we see a very Tom King-esque quick flash of the robot grabbing the dad's arms and the dad saying, "Stop, you're hurting me." And she just says no. And then we see the housebot and his friend walking through the city, and they catch the mom walking out of Inhuman Resources, and they're like, "Well, you're fucked. They're gonna kick you out. That's obviously what's going on there. So why don't you just go ahead and disengage your empathy chip?" And then we cut back to the home and see the family huddled around the TV watching the news. And following up on the central control computer for Bubble Orlando being abused by its maintenance bot, it fucked up and flooded Bubble Orlando with carbon dioxide and killed the entire population. And they're all basically just like, "Oh my god, what the hell is happening?" Meanwhile, in the background, the housebot disengages his empathy chip, and the dad walks in wearing like a fucking mom's apron and carrying a bowl of something, and he goes, "I didn't know you were home. How was your work?" And that was a thing that was a thing from earlier in the episode. Is he says like, "We never even check on him. We never even say how was your day at work, Kirk?" And the kids are like, "We have," and he doesn't say. He gives non-committal answers back. He clearly doesn't care. And so the big play end of this issue is the dad says, "How was work today?" And as the housebot's eyes glow red, "Not bad, actually. Thanks for asking." Mm-hmm. So it's very much like that dark kind of social commentary book. I think I'll keep up with it because it's a very intriguing first issue. I don't know if I'm going to read it all the way through, but I enjoyed the first issue enough that I'm willing to give the second one a try.
All right. It sounds like an interesting kind of take on a horror book.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about some Hellions.
Hey.
So basically, the ground is just coming out from Sinister's plans. The Hellions are dealing with the Iraqi mutants that came to attack, and the two Sinisters are going off and and one of the Sinisters is dealing with the plan and everything. Goes like, "All right, cool. Here's the idea. I took the alien that the Iraqi mutant that like fucked us up. I took some of his DNA. I'm gonna combine it with our DNA and make a fucking dope ass Mr. Sinister." That's the plan. We're making a dope, godlike Mr. Sinister. And like the Sinisters go like, "Yeah, let's fucking do it."
Mr. Sinister is just the Jackal, but if people knew how to write him to be cool.
Oh god, yeah. Really, yeah. Genuinely, yeah. And then it's kind of it. As most of what it is, and it's the Hellions get to that point, and reveal that the reason Kwawan has been like so on board with Mr. Sinister's plans, and she goes like, "Yeah, I knew about Murder World. I knew about all these plans. I knew about him." They're going like, "Why did you know?" And Mr. Sinister goes like, "Oh, because I have her daughter. It's all right here in this computer." Yeah, it's all right here. There's her daughter. I can bring her back at any time, but I've been using it as blackmail.
Damn.
Yeah. Real fucked up. And then, remember the guy who has empath powers?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at Mr. Sinister and goes like, "All right, that's it. We're done." Emma sends her regards. He basically deactivates Havoc's logic and reason, just turning him into like a feral animal. Havoc hasn't been on the team because he needs, like, he's mentally damaged or troubled or anything like that, like the rest of the team. He's on the team to be the self-destruct button.
Oh.
Because basically the dude goes like, Emma sends her regards. And it's like, Emma knew Sinister was up to something. And she put those two people on the team to basically blow it up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but that also blew up the computer that had Kwawan's daughter in it.
Ooh.
And that's the end of the issue. We don't see what happens after that.
Shit.
Yep.
Before we move on, Buster had to drop out, presumably just getting late, gotta go. So everybody, please be sure to check out Buster's content by going to the Buster Corp YouTube channel and following them at Buster Bluey Free on Twitter.
Yep. But in the meantime, tell me about Almost American.
Almost American is another new indie book that started up this week from Ron Mars, who is a classic DC writer. Like he used to be very much like a job guy at DC in like the late 80s, early 90s. Tales of the Green Lantern Corps that Alan Moore is known for writing on.
Yeah.
He was the first writer on that book.
Okay.
He was also the first guy to write Kyle Rayner's solo book. And he has a fairly solid Green Arrow run from that time that people have always told me to check out, and I've just never gotten around to doing it.
Was he the guy who fridged?
I'm not 100% sure because I've never actually read Kyle Rayner's solo book.
Okay.
But I'll look into that. And this is basically, it basically feels like the opening 20 minutes of like a summer thriller movie, like not particularly attached to any franchise, but just like a solid summer spy flick. Because it's basically these two Russian KGB agents who were both raised in the lap of wealth, and their parents were spies, so they were expected to become spies. They've gone to a island in the Pacific that has a U.S. embassy to defect, and the entire first issue is just them telling these two agents who have come to meet with them their backstory and also what they want to do, which is just get American citizenship and new identities and settle down and have a family together, and basically saying, we will tell you everything we know in exchange for that. Like, we don't have information pertaining to... They go out of their way to be like, we can't tell you if any of your operatives in the field are in danger, but we can tell you a lot about the inner workings of the KGB right now, which will probably be extremely helpful to you.
Is this taking place in the middle of the Cold War?
No, this is in present day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we see them get their new citizenships and have a very rough journey across the ocean to the U.S. And it's very funny how they play it up like it's this arduous journey of you have to get on a boat, then you have to get on another boat, then you've got to get on this little sea jumper plane, then you go to this little island with a proper 747 on it waiting for you, and they're like just sick out of their minds as they get on the plane, and the two agents that greet them on the plane are like, I hear it was a rough ride, and they're like, very well. It's not exactly gourmet, but we grabbed you your first American meal, and it's bags of, I can't believe it's not Subway, and the girl almost froze up, and the guy's just like, I don't think we're that hungry right now, maybe later. And it ends off with them landing in America and taking their first steps onto American soil in like a really bad thunderstorm. So it's like, clearly, this is not going to go too well for them. I think it's the conceit of the book. It's they're trying to settle down and live a quiet life in America, but I think circumstances are going to keep making it hard for them to do that.
Neat.
It's a little bland. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with it, but it was about as solid as a first issue with this premise could be expected to be. It's one of those indie books where I read it and I go, this is good, but it's very obviously hoping to get adapted.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an adapt hopeful book.
Mhm.
So I read Sweet Paprika.
I've been seeing this art around. What the fuck is this?
Okay, it's a high concept rom-com. It takes place in the world where angels and demons coexist peacefully, but have racial prejudices, but not outright racism against the other group.
That sounds complicated.
It works better in reading it, and it follows that demon girl right there, who is an office worker for like a production studio, as it's that
This is only the second issue of this?
yes.
Dude, I've been seeing porn of this girl for months.
The artist has done a lot of art for a while.
Okay.
And there is also I know there is another animator who does a specific porn series starring a succubus, so you may also be thinking about that. I'm not sure. But this, specifically, she's a high-strung office worker who's getting along in years, who thinks she needs to settle down. Her dad wants her to settle down. All that bullshit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy behind her is basically a playboy angel. And that's kind of like the weird, haha, isn't it funny? Our demon characters high-strung and kind of a prude, and the angels
This
the
is
fucking
literally
slut.
just an anime premise.
It is. But it's targeted at adults with very kind of like... the best way I can describe the art is it's like American Western nice porno artist. You know what I mean?
So it's like a Bruce Timm.
Little Bruce Timmy. Who's the one who just did that Harley Quinn Black Label book?
Steven Sejic.
Yeah, that guy. A little bit. It's not exactly like either of those two guys, but it definitely has a flavor of this person also has drawn erotica. Specifically, there is a scene at the end of the book where the angel dude is getting a blowy.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just it is typical rom-com stuff of like, oh, we got this big job going in, you're in charge of it, demon lady, and she's going like, oh god, and you're going like, oh, why is she so upset? It turns out the person they're dealing with is her ex-boyfriend. Womp womp.
I mean, it's cool to hear stuff like that can float in American comics, because this like I said anime, but really what this sounds like is just like any fucking manga. Like I could see the anime man talking about this.
It does have a very manga like flavor, not manga flavor. Okay, the best way to think about it is like it took the recipe of a manga but used it to make lasagna.
Okay.
It has the building blocks of a manga, but all the ingredients used make it feel very American.
All the ingredients of an American adult cartoon.
Yeah. But but it's not just like fucking like deck jokes and Rick and Morty jokes. Like it's not like that. Like it feels like it feels like what it is like remember Futurama when it has like those really sweet kind of like serious moments.
So it's closer to the BoJack Horseman end of the scale.
Yeah, less depressing. It seems to be much more of a happy-go-lucky comedy. So
okay,
I would suggest giving the first two issues a read through if you're interested. I'm probably going to keep up with it because for some reason I found out I'm a sad sack when it comes to goddamn romance comics.
And that's fair. I think everybody has a little bit of that.
No, I've been reading a bunch of fucking romance manga.
Did Manga Dex get put back up?
Oh yeah, Manga's Dex has been up for like at least a month.
Sick.
And they just started recently letting uploads happen, so it's been kicking. They're still they're still like fixing things. There's still some bugs, but I haven't ran into any major bugs. But no, like real quick, I didn't put it on here because it's not a comic, but I just want to talk about it real quick because I think it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a manga called The 31st Consort.
I've heard of this.
Okay. The basic premise is this is a fantasy world. Don't think fantasy like dragons. This thing of like it's an alternate world history kind of thing. Where the king has to do through this go through this big old ritual to find his queen. That's the country's tradition and everything. And what you do is you get 31 consorts. One consort for every day of the month. And every day the king would go visit that specific girl. So it's a way for a bunch of nobles to go like, hey, you should marry my daughter. You should marry my daughter. Or like foreign dignitaries go like, hey, you should marry our princess for diplomatic reasons. Okay? And the king doesn't want to fucking do this. It's bullshit for him. He hates it. But everybody is just going like, you just fucking deal with it right now. We are going to cut through the chaff as much as we can in order for this to be as painless as possible for you, okay? And he goes like, all right, fine, I'll play along enough to keep face. And so you see some of the girls, and it's like the first one is like one of the biggest nobles, and she's a 7-year-old girl, but that's his only daughter, and like he just and so he plays dolls with her, you know. It's like he plays nice. And then there's a couple others. There's some bitches, you know. I just want to be queen because I want to be queen. And then you get to the 31st girl. Now, their months are like work like our months, so it's like 30 days, 31 days. So he only would see her like every other month. And she is from a far out nobility clan, like barely any population. They're farmers. They're people of the land. They work the soil just as much as the commoners do. They're a shoulder to shoulder. They're down to earth folks. And so she's there and she gets nothing. She's treated like shit. And she goes like, whatever, I'll just grow my own food. I can do that. So she does. And all the knights like hanging around her house because she just feeds them and lets them relax after all the other bitches fucking bend their ear off. And they go like, God, thank God you're fucking reasonable. And she goes like, yeah, no, don't worry, I'll make you some tea. Here you go. And they're like, thank God. Why can't he marry you? You're cool.
Sick.
And then the king meets her and he's like, fuck. I think I may have fallen in love with her. But I can't.
She's cute though.
She's real cute though. I can't see her for a while. Fuck, we gotta fucking engineer a reason for me to come see her. And then it just becomes a cascading like political plays of them, because they go like, no, we want to marry each other, like because they fall in love with each other at first sight. And it's like, oh shit. And it's really cute because like he doesn't think she's the consort at first. She thinks she's the maid. And so he's like treating her like a maid, like he would have made. It's like he's not treating her like a aristocrat. And she's going like, yeah, whatever, you're the king? Whatever, here's some tea. You look tired, relax. And he falls asleep and he just, and all the knights go like, he hasn't had a full night's sleep in fucking ever. Can we just leave him here? So he can wake up in the morning. She's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
Alright.
And like, basically, there's a group of people that form around the girl who goes like, alright, the king loves her. We need to protect her politically so that she can actually marry him and they can be happy together. So, like, they have to train her to be a queen, and there's this other princess from another country that goes like, yo, I really dig this girl. I want her to be queen. I want to help her. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, it's like one part political intrigue, one part this really cool chick and this really chill dude just dealing with bullshit traditions who just want to marry each other because they like each other.
Alright.
It's real cute.
So, sounds nice.
Yeah. Drake said something, but I cannot see it.
Oh well. What's the next book?
Let's talk about some Dark Ages, boy.
Yeah! Oh my god, this book. Fucking Tom Taylor. just Tom Taylor's the fucking best, right?
This is really good. This is really solid. I understand why you've been digging Nightwing so much.
Because for those of you who don't know, this is a new. I'm assuming it's under their What If
I don't see
label.
the what if. Let's just consider it a what if.
hmm But it's more of an Elseworld style story. It reminds me a lot of both Deceased and Injustice. Of like this is me showing how much I love the main universe by fucking it up.
Yeah, boy.
uh, because it's basically a book where this ultra apocalyptic threat is coming to attack the Marvel universe, and they have to put a whole team together to stop it, and they do, but just by the skin of their teeth, and they lose a whole bunch of people, and they accidentally destroy all technology in the
Yeah.
last couple minutes, and the rest of the book is going to be a big old flash forward to a post-apocalyptic Marvel universe where everybody's using steampunk tech. It looks like.
Yeah, steampunk are as close as the equivalent to their technology they can.
Mhm.
But no, it looks dope. I like Spider-Man. He's just like
Mhm.
I love
I
how
love
every
seeing the Parkers in the cages hanging out. That's something I never knew I wanted until I saw it.
oh yeah, I love how anybody takes an alternate does an alternate version of Spider-Man. They just go like, nah, he's happy and married with MJ, and they have a kid.
Yeah.
Fuck you, editorial.
This is probably the most adorable version of May yet, by the way.
Oh, it is. It's up there because she's
And
just crawling on the ceiling. It's great.
I love how during the scene where everybody's spider sense is getting hit, they're like, "Yeah, just because I like all the characters, this is a universe where Miles and Gwen are in the main universe."
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, like I've always been fine with that. There's people who are like, "Oh, that's so weird that in Spidey and his Amazing Friends they shoved all these characters together. They're from alternate universes in the comics," and I'm like, I'd be fine if we just did an alternate, like okay, this is probably blasphemy, but you know what? Fucking hot take. If we want to bring Gwen back from the dead in the mainline continuity and make her Spider Gwen, I'm all for it. Let's do it. It's a great character design. It'd be a cool direction to take.
I don't think you could bring back classic Gwen because her character was so different than contemporary Gwen. You know,
Yeah.
because contemporary Gwen is just early Mary Jane.
hmm
Like, I've never read a Tom Taylor Constantine book, so Aki.
Tom Taylor was on Constantine? That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. That might be a little bit before I read
Well,
any of
Aki
his
says
stuff.
Tom Taylor sucked at writing it, so who knows?
Huh. Uh, but no, that was awesome. Just the acknowledgments of like different corners of the Marvel universe in this is great because it's very much him going like, all right, I know I'm known for writing DC, but I know the Marvel universe too. Here's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Here's the Fantastic Four. Here's fucking Uatu. Here's the living goddamn tribunal.
I fucking love the Living Tribunal being part of this. It's great. I also love how goofy Uatu looked.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking Disney cartoon.
Yeah, and also Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby in her honey badger costume. It was great. I also love
Yeah.
just like the acknowledgement of like, okay, we need to build a fucking super team in order to go fight this giant robot thing in the core of our Earth.
Does Laura usually have a jacket these days, or is that like something he just threw in this book?
It might be something in this book because normally Laura in the X-Men is just her Wolverine costume.
It does look pretty sick in kind of like a '90s X-Men way.
I love jackets over superhero costumes. It's a good look. I'm sad it disappeared.
Uh, I, by the way, one of my favorite details after the EMP goes off is just that, like, I can't wait to see the follow up in the next issue of Scott Lang is stuck as Giant Man.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. That's like there's a lot of different things that are just fun, like interesting about all that. You know.
Mm-hmm. And so much, so like there's gonna be a lot of tragedy porn in the next couple issues because fucking Iron Man falls out of the sky, people's pacemakers stop working, Vision is just dead, just auto dead.
Yeah. And Amadeus Child just being super sad about that. It's fucking heartbreaking.
hmm I do love how.
What if
though, like,
Amadeus turns into a maestro in this universe?
oh, that'd be interesting. But just Tom Taylor being Tom Taylor at his best of like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of tragic, kind of traumatic shit, but like there's still some hope in the darkness. Still some light in the darkness because here's a really fucking heartwarming scene of Peter going to dig his family out and just baby May showing that she has super strength.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's cute. It works. I also really like his old Peter design.
Yeah, with the fucking graying temples and whatnot.
Yeah, I also I'm hype about seeing Apocalypse and his new fucking horseman.
Hmm.
Cause like one of them's Iron Man, one of them's Reed Richards.
Yeah, speaking of Reed Richards, it just struck me looking at it now. Fucking his future Peter design is just what if Reed Richards was a himbo?
I mean, Spider-Man is scientist himbo.
Yeah. Uh but no, the fucking steampunk. Oh, you were talking about what if Amadeus becomes Maestro? Amadeus is one of the horsemen.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. And the fucking oh my god, it looks like one of the other ones is Miles with the Carnage symbiote.
Yeah, fuck. Who knows what's gonna happen? It's gonna be fucking wild.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this book goes. It's just crazy bonkers alternate universe fun.
There's also a little bit of Earth X in here because remember in Earth X the idea of the core of the Earth is a celestial egg.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So like he's digging into Marvel like back lore, you know. It's nice.
Hmm.
It's nice to see.
And you could possibly say like, oh, all the deaths in this issue are super cheap, but even though they were short, I like how they were played. They felt very much like some of the better event deaths of like, no, this is a legitimate sacrifice, or this is a great way to drive home the point of how much of a big threat this is that they're fighting.
Yeah, like Wanda.
Hmm. Or Ben just getting fucking mooked.
Oh yeah, that makes me sad because I like Ben.
Hmm. Same here.
Should we move on to the next book?
Yeah.
So Static Season 1, Episode 3 or Issue 3.
Okay.
Last issue, he was in the storage closet dealing with the cops coming in, and he's like, "Oh fuck." He escapes. He's smart. He escapes. He does all the stuff.
Hmm.
He gets back home and he basically goes like, "All right, I got this super cool suit. Let me turn it into a superhero costume real quick. I learned how to sew by making costumes for me and my friends when we were kids. Good wholesome stuff." And
Sure.
then his dad's working on the house because it got burned the other day, and they have a nice, cool conversation of. And Virgil basically goes like, "Hey, Dad, I know I'm not exactly the same kind of guy you are. You know how you like to get your hands dirty and like you work and build on stuff and do all that kind of things, and I'm more technical." And he goes like, "Virgil, you make things just as much as I do. Just because the medium's different doesn't mean I'm not proud of you." And it's just like it's a good
Hell
wholesome
yeah,
moment.
that's awesome.
And it's like it's a good bonding moment, and they give each other shit. It's like, just don't make me pull out my hair. What hair? That kind of thing. As Virgil's two friends who just found out he has superpowers come and just go like, "Hey, we want to make sure you know that we are cool with you and we're here for you." And they get roped into helping redo the house. And there's a cute moment of like Richie is getting excited about eating his sister's cooking because it's good apparently. And Virgil gives him shit. It's like, "If I didn't know you better, I'd swear you have a crush on my sister." And Richie just comes back with like, "You know, out of you and your sister, you're more my type, but I know better not to crush on a Hawkins." Basically, like, "Yo, you're hot, but I know you're a disaster. Fuck that." It's good. It's cool. And then they go to the school the next day, and apparently Hotshot has sold out the Bang Babies and is working with the feds to track them down.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a twist on the original book, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. It's also a twist on the original comic. So on the not the comic, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's good. Static is doing good shit.
All right.
Next up is another book I read. Remember, we put these in random order.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot edition for Last Annihilation. At least I think it is. It's a book about Hulkling and Wiccan.
Okay.
And it's just basically them dealing with stuff on opposite sides of the intergalactic issue that Dormammu's causing. And they're just going like, shit, we gotta fucking deal with it, but I gotta be strong for my partner and all that kind of stuff. And we get some flashbacks of how they met in high school and like just hanging out and learning about each other. And it's cute, it's adorable. And they go through all these different kinds of things. And they're dealing with all the problems on their place. And then we get a cool flashback of the night before their wedding. The night before they got married. And Hulkling goes like, alright, so my dad was Captain Marvel. The original OG Captain Marvel. And he died of cancer.
Marvel,
right. And for a while, he used the NECA bands with Rick Jones to do that whole thing. Remember that?
Yeah, which I can't believe it's not Shazam.
Yeah. What do you mean it's Captain Marvel? And he basically goes like, all right, so those bands got destroyed in this big cataclysmic event, and all we could find was like this melted lump of the bands. But I wanted these to be important, so I commissioned them, and I got them turned into wedding rings for me and you. And he just gets on one knee and goes like, would you please marry me? Just kind of like to reiterate that they love each other. And it's to also go like, by the way, they have NECA band wedding rings, so they activate them and they switch places and they can solve the problem easier.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, that's really cute. It's really adorable. It's to really show how married people can, how a good healthy marriage is supposed to be viewed, of like two people working together for a common goal, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cute. It's really adorable. There's some other like, this is probably the gayest book Marvel has published all month. Will probably publish this entire month, because like you have Hulkling and Wiccan, which is the main focus, and then you have on the side the twink and his himbo giant boyfriend of Hercules and Kid Marvel.
I like how you have to put that restrictor on it. It's the gayest book this month.
Oh, dude, there's probably going to be gayer books other months. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
And then you have the fact that the alternate versions of different Captain Marvel, like female Pharrell, and the wife of the current Moondragon, who in the alternate universe is the older sister to Hulkling, and she goes like, yeah, but this isn't my brother, and really, he's not the person I knew, and they're going like, yeah, but he could definitely use a big sister role person right now, role model, and you can help him out. And he goes like, yeah, me and my wife are really loving and dedicated, and I can see that in you and your husband. And it's just like, I don't want to say they just went like, all right, here's all the gay shit, but it's just kind of like, it's nice seeing these gay characters interact with each other and go like, hey, relationships, we work together, you know.
We go together, two of a kind.
It's really cute. It's really adorable. And it doesn't do anything huge to further Last Annihilation. It's just really good character work for Wiccan and Hulkling.
Is there anything in this that keys into Trial of Magneto?
The entire time Wiccan's going like, my magic feels off, something bad has happened, and Abigail Brand is just going like, oh, really? I don't know what could be happening. Let's get back on task. It's hilarious.
Abigail Brand is just literally fucking white Amanda Waller.
You're not wrong. But yeah, no, it's cute. If you are interested in Wiccan and Hulkling and you don't give a shit about Annihilation, this is probably the only really good thing to pick out of the whole stuff because it's just mostly about them.
All right.
And it gives you enough information in the book to know what's going on, to know why they're fighting and all that stuff. So, it's good.
Yeah.
So, tell me about Batcat Man Woman.
Yeah. So, for those of you who aren't aware, Tom King's Batman run was supposed to be 100 issues, but because of editorial politics and whatnot, it got cut off. Basically, he cut it off. He cut it off an arc early, and he said, "This is basically meant to be the end of the book, but also I have an epilogue I wanted to do." And for a while, we were unsure if we were ever going to get that epilogue, and that epilogue is now being released as this Black Label book, which is basically a further look into the alternate future we saw in his Batman annual, where, to recap that annual very, very quickly, because I'm a little bit behind on this. This issue came out a few weeks ago, but just randomly I got a bug up my butt this week to catch up on the series because I had only read the first issue. In that annual, what we saw was an alternate future where Batman and Catwoman are married and living together, and they're in like their early 60s, and it's basically All-Star Superman but for Batman. That annual is, and that is to say, it's through the lens of Tom King's Batman. So it's a much more depressing, sad version of All-Star Superman, where it's not like Batman goes around doing all these amazing deeds and like making good with some of his enemies. No, Batman just goes to the doctor one day and finds out he has terminal cancer, and then deals with being upset about it for a few pages, and then he just fucking dies in his bed in the manor, surrounded by not the entire Bat family, but the ones who can still stand to be around him.
Oof.
Yeah. Which, if I remember correctly, because I haven't read that annual in a while, I think it was Helena Wayne Huntress, because it's the future where Batman and Catwoman get together and have a daughter. Duke Thomas, who is implied to be married to Helena Wayne Huntress. And Gotham Girl, and one other character I don't remember.
So none of the Robins.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Dick Grayson is in this comic. And this series is continuing on from that literally right after that issue ends, because it ends with Catwoman getting in a car and driving away from the manor, if I remember correctly. And this issue followed up by that, where the first issue, and this whole series is jumping between 3 different points in time. Following the latest point is taking up after that annual. The other is sort of like a nebulous in-between point in Catwoman's history. And the final is like a story that canonically would take place right after King's run wraps up. And it's all surrounding Catwoman dealing with this same issue. Because Batman is in this book, but he's very much a side character. It's much more a Catwoman book than it is a Batman book. And in the first issue, we see in the alternate future, Catwoman, immediately after Batman dies, goes and finds the Joker living in a retirement home in Florida, hiding. And she just fucking murders him. Just like, he's not around to hold me back anymore. I know what you did, you fucking bastard. And now you're paying for it. And the whole series since then has been us exploring those 3 different points in time, figuring out and gaining sympathy for why Catwoman killed the Joker. So the 3 points in history we see for this issue is a point earlier on in history where she was decorating her apartment for Christmas and the Joker just showed up and started helping her. which is fun because we get an animated series homage of the Joker wearing basically the same outfit from that Christmas episode, and they make an allusion to Jingle Bells Batman Smells. Um, but there's also a very sad tone to that point in the story because she keeps handing him ornaments and going, "Oh, I stole this one from here. I got this one when I robbed this place," so on and so forth. And there's a point where the Joker just point blank asks her, "Darling, do you have any ornaments in there that you didn't steal?" And she says yes, and then starts rifling for the box and goes, "No." Like, just this kind of somber point about Catwoman doesn't. It's kind of like, I think the point King is trying to make is, at that point in her life, Catwoman didn't have anything she hadn't actually earned.
I could also see it as like Catwoman doesn't have anybody who loves her enough to give her something. She has to steal it. She has to take it for herself, you know?
Yeah. And then the other point in history is, so here's the other big thing about this book. As you may have guessed by the cover, Mask of the Phantasm is canon to Tom King's Batman.
Neat.
And in the midway point that takes place just after King's run wraps up, Andrea Belmont, took me a second to remember her name. She comes back as the Phantasm to try and kill the Joker specifically because, A, if you remember that movie, the Joker is the one that killed her dad. And B, she's since then remarried and had a son, and the Joker tracked her down and killed her son. And at this point in the story, Catwoman is basically a willing prisoner of her because she has basically said, "Okay, Batman, I know I'm not skilled enough to do it, but you're going to go out and catch the Joker for me, and we're going to do a prisoner exchange, because if you don't go get the Joker for me and give him to me, I'm going to kill your wife." And they all know it's kind of bullshit. They all know Andrea won't actually do it, but Bruce goes along with it and tries to pull a switcheroo on her and gets his fucking ass beat. Basically, they're left at a big old standstill by the end of this issue, where Andrea is kind of like, either you're gonna get me the Joker or shit's about to go down. And Catwoman actually kind of pitches in on her side in the fight, lending credence to, oh, the reason in the future Catwoman kills the Joker is she's getting revenge for Andrea. And then the future storyline here, taking place post Catwoman killing the Joker, is Helena Wayne comes to the mansion for dinner. And as soon as they sit down at the table, because in the last issue, Helena Wayne had found some pretty conclusive evidence, and they just sit down at the big dining table, completely on opposite sides from each other, too. And she just goes, "Mother, yes, dear, you killed the Joker." As a statement. Not a question, a statement. And she goes, "Honey, are you going out tonight?" And Helena goes, "I go out every night. Crime doesn't sleep and all that." "Excellent. I'll join you." And so we get an adventure of Helena Wayne Batwoman being accompanied by a 60-year-old Catwoman in her fucking first appearance costume. Yeah. And the best fucking part is Catwoman reunites with Dick Grayson, who in this future is the commissioner of police in Gotham. Yeah, and he basically goes, "It's good to see you, Selina. I miss him, like everyone else. But it seems with the family trying their best to carry his weight, I don't know. It's almost like he's everywhere now. So I take some comfort in that." And Selina actually has some really nice things to say to Dick. She goes, "You were always the kindest, even he'd say that. And he didn't like to compare. You know, he considered your optimism to be his greatest triumph. And that he could give you what he didn't have. I think in his dark moments, that was his guiding light. You're a good kid, and he was always so proud of you. And Dick just goes, that's thank you. Just thank you. Like, it's a really sweet, wholesome moment, I thought.
If he's this okay with Bruce, why wasn't he there?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, a lot of this, I'm not super into this as like, yeah, this is how I see the future of the DC universe. But it's like, this is clearly just Tom King and Clay Mann's fanon future of the DC universe. Like, we're never going to see them try and push things towards this, like how for years DC tried to push things towards the Dark Knight Returns. But it's like, they're really into this, and I'm enjoying it because they're really into it and not questioning it that much. Especially because we get a callback to the War of Jokes and Riddles in this, where I said, "You killed the Joker" was said to Selina as a statement. After a montage of Selina and Helena fighting crime together and dealing with all these obscure Batman villains and just being like, who are some of these fucking people? And getting like some cool random future mishmashes of villains, like there's they're not descendants of Harvey, but there's twins calling themselves Four-Face in the future. Uh, but they're on a rooftop, just kind of chilling out at the end of the night, and Selena is just like, oh, that was fun. We should do this more often. And Helena is having her dad come out and her and just going, it's not fun, Mutter. It's bringing justice to a city in need. Um, and Selena says, about before, say it again. But this time, you poor girl, don't demand. Just ask me. And Helena goes, Mutter, did you kill the Joker? And the issue ends with Selena saying, damn fucking right I did. And we go from there.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So it's interesting and kind of weird and kind of off kilter, but I get why people aren't into Tom King's Batman, but I get into it partially because of how into it Tom King clearly is. Like, to some people it's the writer being up his own ass, and to me it's like, nah, dude, he's just vibing on this vibe he's got, and I'm vibing along with him.
Hell yeah. So, issue 4 of Sinister War.
Oh god.
Okay.
Are those fucking centipedes?
Yeah, that's Kindred.
Oh Jesus.
That's his whole motif.
Forgot about Kindred.
Okay. They're fighting Spider-Man. He's doing all the things.
All right.
Eventually, something happens. And Boomerang goes like, no, Spider-Man, fuck. He pushes him out of the way. He gets hit. Boomerang's dead.
Oh, come on, Spencer.
Because he died. He died being a hero. He sacrificed himself.
I mean, fair, and also, like, Spencer's the person who's used this character probably the most out of any writer in the last 50 years, but, like, still.
All the while, Dr. Octopus is, like, going, like, all right, I'm getting this, tech. And then all of a sudden, all the bad guys get, like, a headache, and Dr. Octopus just walks up to Peter and goes, like, all right, so Kindred put fucking demon bugs in our brains as kind of, like, a failsafe to make us do this. Like, to kind of urge us to do it. So I just built some tech shit to, like, control them myself, to turn them off and get them out of everybody's brain. So you don't have much time because they're still probably going to want to kill you. But now they're not being forced to all this kind of stuff. And Peter just looks at him and goes like, I knew you had good in you, Doc. And he's like, fuck off. I'm Dr. Octopus. Nobody controls me. All the while, we go back to fucking Mephisto and Doctor Strange. And Mephisto goes like, huh. Well, I guess that's the end of that game. Who knows? Something weird's gonna happen, I guess. And Doctor Strange just looks at him like, you motherfucker. What the fuck is... What? It's gonna be finished up in Amazing Spider-Man.
I mean, I saw somebody on Twitter saying, like, if Peter doesn't propose next issue, I'm calling bullshit, so...
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Wouldn't that be amazing if Spencer makes Pete propose in the last fucking issue of his run and then just pieces out?
Someone else's problem. I think... Hold on. I think that's all the comics we read this week.
Excellent.
I'm double checking because it wasn't going to another slide and I just want to be sure.
Okay.
And it's not really liking what I'm putting down. Jesus.
That's everything you have written down in the doc.
Yeah, alright then. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, we did a show.
We did a show. We talked about comics.
We sure did.
Yeah, so why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I am the Vacuuminator. I'm a YouTuber, a figure photographer, and a podcaster. You can find all my work by going to youtube.com/thevacuuminator. That's spelled THEBACUUMINATOR. I've got a new video in the works. It's going to be something a little unexpected, but something probably...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everything's working on my end. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I think something might be going poo-poo. On the man's end. Hold on, I'm double checking some stats. Yeah, there we go. Well, in the meantime, I can talk about myself. Hey, howdy, I'm Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. I do a variety of content on the internet. I make video essays and editorials on my YouTube channel. You can find me there at Boingo Writer. You know how YouTube works. Vac's computer just shut off, so I'll just finish off the show real quick. Hold on, let me tell you. And you can find me on YouTube at Boingo Writer. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Boingo_Writer. And you can find me on Twitch at twitch.com/Boingo Writer. Some projects are going to be up in the works over there. So keep an eye out. But in the meantime, this has been Modular Media's No Price Podcast. If you like this podcast, give it a like, give it a comment, and subscribe to this channel to get more podcasts, such as this one, MMWP, where me and Vac talk about professional wrestling, Twit, where Vac and Buster talk about tokusatsu in the week, and Components, where we all just hang out along with Snowcone and shoot the shit. And I think we have, a beautiful bouncing baby boy.
Sorry about that, everybody. My computer's acting like it overheated, but literally I've had the AC going all night, and it's not hot at all in here. So I don't know what happened.
Weird. But in the meantime, I've given all the spiel. Do you have any final things you would like to say about comic books this week?
I mean, I don't know if anybody's listening at the moment, but just one final promo. Tomorrow night, we're doing live reactions to AEW All Out, the biggest wrestling pay-per-view of the year, if you don't count a very entertaining company. or at least a company that tries to be very entertaining. If you want to see us freak out like a bunch of crazy man babies over wrestling, definitely subscribe to this channel and be back here tomorrow night because we're going to be going live at about 10 till 7, I think.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try for around that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the pre-show starts at 7.
Yeah, but in the meantime, that's it for comics this week. We don't have any soapboxes. We don't have anything else to say.
Nope.
Enough said.